during the awakening, you see something very clearly, and it is that in the organism, the mind-body organism, there is consciousness looking through it, and there is nothing else in the sense of no other being inside, no self, little self inside. There is just consciousness looking through the mind-body system. So when you use the pointer "nothing has changed," you are pointing to that what you already saw clearly during awakening. And not only you point to it, but you go back to that realization. You remove the identification with the I, and you go back to that which has not changed. From moment to moment, all day, all night, essentially in your mind-body system, in your human experience, so to speak, essentially nothing has changed. Yes, emotions, thoughts, mental stuff are changing, but essentially there is consciousness looking through the mind-body, and that never changes. It's always the same, always the same. So the pointer is extremely useful and effective, but is particularly effective after awakening. You reconnect with that which you already saw. And it's not just an intellectual reconnection, a memory. Oh, yes, I remember. No. Nothing has changed. Awareness is looking at all this through the mind-body system. That hasn't changed. Never changes. No matter what is going on in your life, at that moment you may be upset, or you may be happy, or with people, or by yourself, having negative thoughts or positive thoughts, having a desire or no desires. It doesn't matter. That is happening in the surface. It's like the metaphor of the mind being the surface of the ocean, and awareness or consciousness being the ocean in its depth. Underneath the movements of the waves, everything is calm. So the pointer is pointing to underneath the mind, and that never changes. So you could say, all right, this is okay, but it's a bypass. If I'm having a negative thought or an emotion, and I use the pointer and I feel good again and connected again with true nature, and then I don't deal with the stuff that is bothering me, it's a good point. So when you see that in the surface, in the mind, there is something that is negative, use the surrendering technique. It takes a moment and you did the work so that you don't do a bypass, but nothing has changed brings you beneath. It dives you. It makes you dive beneath the surface, the alternations of the mind. I know that this pointer is much more useful after awakening, because during awakening you saw clearly this simple fact that there is awareness looking through the mind, body, organism, and there is no other, no second, no little self. There are mental objects, yes. So awakening makes this pointer very alive, because you already saw the truth. And when you say nothing has changed, that what you saw hasn't changed. And then you reconnect with that which you saw already, so that it's not just an intellectual exercise or recalling a memory. No, it is a reconnection, removing the identification with the I and the mind and connecting with or identifying yourself with true nature, with consciousness. That's why this works particularly well after awakening. Awakening, usually in the path of Advaita, comes through a process of inquiry. The problem with inquiring is that it has to be exhaustive, not halfway, complete. It's like entering into a room and seeing everything that is in the room. It's not enough if you just see that there is awareness. You need to see everything that is in that room. In that sense, it's exhaustive. And not everyone wakes up through inquiring, because of this aspect that the inquiring has to be complete. Nisargadatta Maharaj said, if you want to see the real, have a good look first into the unreal, the illusion. So you get to become aware of everything that is in the mind first in your inquiry. In my case, it helped. For example, I know it helped a lot having studied psychology, because I had the language to catalog all the mental objects that I was looking into. And after awakening, I began to help others, try to help others to see the same that I had seen. That's kind of natural, especially if you have interest in teaching. It's like a great challenge. And as a result of that work, those attempts, it came the awakening protocol. The awakening protocol is a process of inquiry, and it's exhaustive, it's complete. It's not just seeing one thing or another thing. No, it's watching everything. So that, because you have to become fully satisfied with the truth, so that the belief in this little self is gone. Because you saw everything that is in the room, but the self, you couldn't find it. The little self was not there. So you have tried already to inquire into your true nature, and you are finding some difficulties, which is normal, it's not easy. Consider the awakening protocol. I leave you a link at the end of the description of the video, as well as my email. This is why the awakening protocol takes sometimes 4, 5, 6, even 7 hours, because it has to be an inquiry that is exhaustive, complete. So finally, if you can, please press like if this helped you, and subscribe to the channel to get more information like this, and see you next time.